Good morning, students. Today we start our third part of the lesson Matter in Our Surrounding. The topic is the gaseous state of matter. Have you ever observed a balloon seller filling a large number of balloons from a single cylinder of gas? Inquire from him how many balloons he able to fill from one cylinder. Ask him which gas does he have in the cylinder. We all know by this activity. Take 300 milliliter syringe and close their nozzles by rubber cork and as shown in figure. This is the figure of a syringe which is closed by a cork. Now remove the piston from all the syringe. Leave one syringe untouched. Second, fill with water, and third, piece of chalk. Insert the piston back into the syringe. You may apply some Vaseline on the piston before inserting them into the syringe for their smooth movement. Now try to compress the content by pushing the piston in each syringe. What do you observe? In which case was the piston easily pushed in? What do you infer from your observation? Now, what we observe by this activity? We have observed that gas are highly compressible as compared to solid and liquid. The liquid petroleum gas LPG cylinder that we get in our home for cooking or the oxygen supplied to hospital in cylinder is compressed gas. Compressed natural gas is used as a fuel these days in vehicles also. Due to high compressibility, large volume of gas can be compressed into a small cylinder and tempered and transported easily. We come to know of what is being cooked in the kitchen without even entering there by the smell that reaches our nostril. How does these smells reach us? Have you ever think about this? The particle of the aroma of food mixed with the particle of air spread from the kitchen reach us and even further away. The smell of hot cooked food reaches us in a second. Compare this with the rate of the smell of hot cooked food reaches us in a second compared with the rate of diffusion of solid and liquid due to the high speed of particles and a large space between them. Gas shows the property of diffusing very fast into other gases. In the gaseous state, the particles move about randomly at high speed. Due to this random movement, the particle hits each other and also the wall of the container. The pressure exerted by the gas is because of the force exerted by the gas particle per unit area on the wall of the container. Here the picture of solid, liquid and gas particles. The solid particles is closely attached. The liquid particles have some gap between them and the gas particles have a large gap between them. These figures show a magnified systematic picture of three. The next topic is, can matter change its state? We all know from our observation that water can exist in three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. as solid state, water exists as ice, liquid as the familiar water, and gas as water vapor. What happened inside the matter during this change of state? Do you think? What happened to the particles of matter during the change of the state? And how does the change of state take place? We need answer of these questions, isn't it? We can clear our doubt by this activity. Okay. Effect of change of temperature. What happened if temperature is changed? First activity is take about 150 gram of ice in a beaker and suspended a laboratory thermometer so that its bulb is in contact with the ice. Look at the figure. This is a stand and a beaker in which some ice is here and a glass thermometer is in contact of ice. Okay, and here is a burner to give temperature increase. Okay, now how can I observe this activity? Start heating the beaker on the low flame. Note the temperature when the ice starts melting. Note the temperature when all the ice has converted into water. Recorded your observation for this conversion of solid to liquid. Firstly, you record your first observation when solid is changed into liquid. Now put a glass rod in a beaker and heat. While stirring it, the water starts boiling. Keep a careful eye on the thermometer reading till most of the water has vaporized. Record your observation for the conversion of water in a liquid state to the gaseous state. What do you understand by this activity? We understand that on increasing of the temperature of solid, the kinetic energy of the particles increase. Means when the temperature is increased, the kinetic energy of a particle is also increased. Due to increase of the kinetic energy, the particles start vibrating with a greater speed. The energy supplied by the heat overcome the force of attraction between the particles. The particles have leave their fixed position and start moving freely. A stage is reached when the solid melts and converted to a liquid. The temperature at which a solid melts to convert to a liquid, the temperature at which the solid melts to become a liquid at the atmospheric pressure is called its melting points. Now the definition of the melting point. The melting point of a solid is an indication of the strength of the force of attraction between its particles. The melting point of ice is 273.16 Kelvin. The process of melting, that is change of solid state into liquid state, is also known as fusion. When a solid melts, its temperature remains the same. So, where does the heat energy go? Do you think about this? You must have observed during the experiment of melting that the temperature of the system does not change after the melting point is reached till at the ice melt. This happens even though we continue to heat the beaker. That is, we continue to supply heat. This heat gets used up in changing the state of overcoming the force of attraction between the particles. As this heat energy is absorbed by ice without showing any rise in temperature, it is considered that it gets hidden into the content of the beaker and is known as the latent heat. What is known? Latent heat. छुप गुप्त ऊष्मा जिसे कहते हैं हिंदी में. The word latent means hidden. The amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of a solid into liquid, the atmospheric pressure at its melting point is known as the latent heat of fusion. So, particles of the water at 0 degree have more energy to compare to particle of ice at the same temperature. When we supply heat energy to water, particles start moving even faster at a certain temperature. A point is reached when the particles have the energy to break free from the force of attraction of each other. At this temperature, the liquid starts changing into gas. The temperature at which a liquid starts boiling at the atmospheric pressure is known as its boiling point. Boiling is a bulk phenomenon. Particles from the bulk of the liquid gain through energy to change into the vapor state. Okay. From water, this temperature is 373 Kelvin. So, by this activity, we come to know that the matter can be changed into another state by changing the temperature. We learned that substance around us change state from solid to liquid and then from liquid to gas on application of heat. But there are some other change directly from the solid state to gaseous state and vice versa without changing into the liquid state. Means some matter change directly solid to gaseous state. We know about this matter by activity. Take some kapoor or ammonium chloride, crush it and put in a china dish. Now put an inverted funnel over the china dish. Put a cotton plug on the stem of the funnel as shown in the figure. Look at the figure. Here is a china dish. Here some ammonium chloride solidified and a funnel is inverted upon it. A cotton plug here. Now when we heat a burner, what happened? A change of state directly from solid to gas without changing into liquid state or vice versa and is called sublimation. What is the type of matter? Sublimation The matter who change directly from solid to gaseous state is called sublimation. Okay. Now the next topic is what happened when pressure is changed. Means the effect of change of pressure on matter. We already learned that the difference in various states of matter is due to the difference in the distance between the constituent particle. That will happen when we start putting pressure and compress a gas enclosed in a cylinder. Will the particle come closer? Do you think that increasing and decreasing the pressure can change the state of matter? Now we can do a practical like this. Applying pressure and reducing temperature can liquefy gas. Okay. Have you heard of solid carbon dioxide? It is stored under high pressure. Solid carbon dioxide gets converted directly to gaseous state or decrease of pressure to 1 atmosphere without coming into liquid state. This is known reason that solid carbon dioxide is also a dry ice. Thus we can say that pressure can. Now the next topic is evaporation. Do you always use to heat or change pressure for changing the state of matter? Can you quote some example from everyday life where the state from liquid to vapor take place without the liquid reaching or boiling point? Water, when left uncovered, slowly change into vapor. Wet cloth dry up. What happened to water in the above two examples? Do you think about this? We know that particles of matter are always moving and never at rest. At given temperature in any gas, liquid or solid, there are particles with different amount of kinetic energy. In the case of liquid, a small fraction of particles at the surface having higher kinetic energy is able to break away from the force of attraction of other particles and gets converted into vapor. This phenomena of change of liquid into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. There are two factors to affecting evaporation. That is let us understand this with an activity. Take 5 milliliter of water in a test tube and keep it near a window or under a fan. Now next take 5 milliliter of water in an open china dish and keep it near a window or under a fan. Take 5 ml of water in open china dish and keep it inside the cupboard on the shelf in your class. Record the room temperature. Record the time for days given for the evaporation process in the above case. Repeat the above 3 steps of activity on a rainy day. and record your observation. What do you infer about the effect of temperature, surface area, and wind velocity on evaporation? You must have observed that the rate of evaporation increase with an increase of surface area, an increase of temperature, a decrease in humidity, an increase in wind speed. There are four factors to affecting the rate of evaporation. What happens when increase of surface area? We know that evaporation is a surface phenomena. If the surface area is increased, the rate of evaporation also increased. For example, while putting cloths for drying up or spread them out. Okay. Now the second one is an increase of temperature. With the increase of temperature, more number of particles get enough kinetic energy to get into the vapor state. And the third one is a decrease in humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in area. The air around us cannot hold more than the definite amount of water vapor at a given temperature. If the amount of water in air is already high, the rate of evaporation decrease. And the last one is an increase in wind speed. It is a common observation that clothes dry faster on a windy day. With the increase in wind speed, the particles of water vapor move away with the wind, decreasing the amount of water vapor in the surrounding. Okay. Now, what is the factor affecting evaporation? Firstly, an increase of surface area, an increase of temperature, a decrease in humidity, and an increase of wind speed. Okay. And the next topic is how does evaporation causes cooling? How I feel cooling by evaporation. In an open vessel, and liquid keep on evaporating, the particle of liquid absorb energy from the surrounding of region, the energy lost during evaporation. This absorption of energy from the surrounding make the surrounding cool. What happens when you pour some acetone on your palm? The particle gain energy from your palm or surrounding the evaporating, causing the palm to feel cool. After a hot sunny day, people sprinkling water on the roof or open ground because a large latent heat of vaporization of water help to cool the hot surface. Can you cite some more example for daily life where we can feel the effect of cooling due to evaporation? Observe yourself. Why should we wear clothes? Why should we wear cotton cloths in summer? During summer, we all want to wear cotton cloths. Why it is so? We perspire more because of the mechanism of our body which keep us cool. We know that during evaporation, the particle at the surface of the liquid gain energy from the surrounding or body surface and change into vapor. The heat energy equal to the latent heat of vaporization is absorbed from the body. Leave the body cool. Cotton, being a good absorber of water, help in absorbing the sweat and exposing it to the atmosphere for easy evaporation. So we all want to wear cotton cloth in summer. Now in our last video we have to learn summary about the lesson. What we have learned in this lesson. Firstly, matter is made up of small particles. The matter around us exists in three states: solid, liquid and gas. The force of attraction between the particles are maximum in solid, intermediate in liquids and minimum in gas. The space in between the constituent particle and kinetic energy of the particles are minimum in case of solid, intermediate in liquid and maximum in gas. The arrangement of particles is most ordered in the case of solid. In the case of liquid, layer of particles can slip and solid over each other, while for gases there is no order. Particles just move about randomly. The state of matter are interconvertible. The state of matter can be changed by changing temperature or pressure. Next, sublimation is the change of gaseous state directly to solid state without going to liquid state and vice versa. Boiling is a bulk phenomena. Particles from a bulk of a liquid change into vapor state. Next, evaporation is a surface phenomena. Particles from the surface gain enough energy to overcome the force of attraction present in the liquid and change into vapor state. The rate of evaporation depends upon the surface area exposed to the atmosphere, the humidity and the wind speed. Next, evaporation causes cooling. Next, latent heat of evaporation. Latent heat of evaporation is the heat energy required to change 1 kg of liquid of gas at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point. Next, latent heat of fusion is a phenomena of heat energy required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid at its melting point. Now the chapter is over and this is exercise you done yourself. And for homework, you students consult with Office of Sacred Heart.